refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take a few to lose. Built to win, apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of FFC. Let me tell you how foolish Coach is. The last two shows I did, that was never on. I just want to throw that out there as a funny way to start today's show. Always make sure your equipment is ready to go. All right, so we are ready. So how's everybody doing today? How is everybody? It is Wednesday. It is 9:36 a.m. on the East Coast. So that means, guess what? Waiver wires are open. So hopefully everybody is attacking and seeing what they can stash away. We will go over those today as well. In case nobody has gotten anything yet, you kind of just waiting for any other information before you start hitting the waiver wire. So we will go over all that today. As we usually do, we like to get started with where we at. We like to get started with week eight's games. So we have a nice doozy of a game tomorrow night. So we got the Vikings on, I think, a 2 or 3 game winning streak. Chargers are just an up and down team. They didn't lose 3 in a row. They beat the Dolphins and then they turned around and I believe lost again. So they are on a up and down trajectory for the season. It doesn't look like it's going to be a 12-5 season for the Chargers. It looks like it's going to be more like 9 or maybe 10 wins. So we will keep an eye on that and see how that works. But I think at home on a Thursday night, man, I think I'm going to go with the Vikings in this game. I think I'm actually going to go with the Vikings. I do like the Vikings here. They've just been playing better football as a team. And this is with a backup quarterback, with Carson Wentz, who is actually, of course, a starting quarterback in his own right. So I'm loving the fact that he's just getting the shine. And it's amazing how these guys are getting more shine in Minnesota than the guy they drafted. I mean, this is amazing. Anyway, we don't get too much into McCarthy. You already know how I feel about JJ. So it's just good that the Vikings are finding ways to win football games with Carson Wentz at the helm. So I will take the Vikings over the Chargers for Thursday Night Football on the road. The Jets and the Bengals. Well, Jets don't have a quarterback. The Jets pretty much have a horrible coach. The staff altogether. Again, Ryan Salza should have never got fired. That's just that was an Aaron Rodgers issue. I don't really know what a lot of that was, but it was not on that head coach. You had a top 5 defense with this head coach. You just needed a quarterback. And it didn't work out with Rodgers, and yet the head coach got fired. It was so weird, but he's been successful over there in San Francisco again, so that's fine. But the Bengals, I think, are going to they're going to lick their chops at this one with old man Flacco, at the helm. And they're going to put a beating up on these Jets. Jets don't have a quarterback. They've already benched Justin Fields. They're pretty much going to go with Tyrod Taylor in this game. It's just not going to be any better. It's amazing. The Bengals season is getting saved basically because of bad football from other teams. That's going to be crazy. But I got the Bengals winning this game on Sunday. Giants, Eagles. Is this a rematch? Yes, it is. Giants, Eagles rematch. I'm giving the Eagles the win in this rematch. There's just no way the Giants will win both of these games. No. I'm giving the Eagles a win at home against the Giants. It's probably going to be another close one, but I still have the Eagles. I'm going to say 31-27, 31-28 if the Giants can score 4 touchdowns in this game. 49ers, Texans. Texans defense is playing pretty well, but no offensive play from this team. So I'm going to ride with the 49ers on the road in Houston. Let's see. We got the Bears versus the Ravens. I'm actually taking the Bears on the road. This is going to be one Halloween horror scare of a weekend, guys. So these games look real ugly. And I got a lot of road teams. When I said the Bengals, I got the Vikings winning on the road. I got the Eagles at home. I got 49ers winning on the road, and I'm going to have the Bears winning against the Ravens on the road. Those are going to be tough, but without the quarterback in Baltimore, I just don't see them winning football games. I don't see it happening. Texans, again, don't have a movable offense. Don't see them winning a lot of football games. They've got a lot of work to do, as in kind of, honestly, the Texans kind of got to rebuild again. Like, they have nothing there. Like, there's like, they've got the defense set, but it's like, really, you got to start over with the offensive line because they can barely block. You got to find another running back again. And you got to do a lot of this before CJ Stroud gets old, right? And you got to pay him, right? Or you're going to franchise tag CJ Stroud. So there's a lot of issues, especially financially, on the business side of the Houston Texans that are basically going to hold them back for about another 3 years. It's just not going to look good for a while for the Texans. But I do have 49ers winning that game. And again, Bears winning against the Ravens until their quarterback decides he wants to play football. Yeah, I said it. And then we don't know if Garrett Wilson is playing against the Jets or playing in the Jets game. So the Jets might be without their receiver again. So we'll see. You got Jalen Waddle on following the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins do play against the Falcons this week. Falcons are at home. The Dolphins have no defense. The Dolphins have no quarterback now. Tua now. Now Tua is benched. Okay. It's just like, this is I thought this season was gonna be a better season for quarterbacks, and it's almost like it's taking an ugly backseat for these guys. But yeah, give me the Falcons at home against the Miami Dolphins. I got the Browns and the Patriots. I got the Patriots winning this game against the Browns at home. It actually should be kind of like an easy game. Like, I mean, maybe the Browns put up 14 points, but I'm not going to see too much. I'm not going to see too much action out of the Browns against the Patriots defense. Their defense is pretty solid. They have one of the best defensive players in the league at his time as their head coach, so I would assume why, Let's see. We have the Bills versus the Panthers. Bills are struggling offensively because the Bills do not have any weapons. Now, you know what I would like to see? Jacoby Myers is still advocating to leave the Oakland Raiders. He should go. A lot of people should leave the Oakland Raiders right now. There's nothing. Again, I don't know what people saw with Geno Smith, but hey, to each his own. But the Bills could use a wide receiver. They're not probably going to get Jalen Waddle. I don't think the Dolphins are going to. They may not even trade Waddle. That's my speculation. But Waddle has unfollowed the team. He's not looking here. He's looking past. To be quite honest with you. But he could end up staying. But if he does leave, I don't think he'll stay in conference and go to the Bills. So he could go to 5 other teams. That's what you need a receiver. But Jacoby Myers could be a Buffalo Bill. They do need somebody like him. They need a possession type of wide receiver. At least that would help Keon Coleman because the receivers that they have in Buffalo right now are ass. Outside of Coleman, he's not the best. But he's a big target, and that's what you want. You want a big target in the red zone, but you got to get some other guys in there that can move around, run some routes, get open. 3 to 5 yard catches, gain 8 yards after the catch, stuff like that. That's what the Buffalo Bills are missing, and they're literally throwing everything on Josh Allen's back when you paid him all that money, which you really expect. You know what I mean? But I believe Jacoby Myers is the type of player, because he's affordable, that the Bills could probably snag up before the trade deadline. But I do have them winning this game against the Panthers. Somehow, though, I really feel like this game is going to look ugly in a way where like it's going to be lopsided, where the Panthers are going to be like winning this game 20-7, some crap like that, and then the Bills are going to score like 25 points in like one quarter. I don't know, some crap like that. It seems to be the narrative of the NFL this year, right? Play crappy football for 3 quarters and then throw 33 points in one quarter. Tebow did it and he got scrutinized for it. I don't know. Let's see, Bucks and Saints. Bucks took an ugly loss last week. I hope Mike Evans is going to be okay, but I do feel like the Buccaneers are going to come out in this game a little bit angry. Bad calls in that game. Yes, there were some bad calls in that game. So I just think the Bucks are just going to come out a little heavy-hearted, and they're going to kind of take it out punishingly on the Saints on the road. Don't think Spencer Rattler is going to be able to do anything much against this defense. He might even throw 2 interceptions against this team. But receivers are going to step up. Bucks are going to be fine. Mike Evans, I hope he has a speedy recovery. If the Bucks can, to be quite honest with you, and I know you guys would hate this for fantasy purposes, but for health purposes and having everybody ready for the playoffs, if I'm the Bucks, I'm at least keeping him out. Let's say 7 games right now. I'm at least keeping him out for at least 4 or 5 games, if I can. If I don't need him right now, I just need him. I mean, he's gonna miss parts of the season, but hell, if I could possibly with clavicle or collarbone, I might want to keep him out until the playoffs. To be quite honest with you, make him come back, be a little bit more healthy, have time to recover. But if you are a Mike Evans owner right now, I would say he is droppable in fantasy football as of right now. Let me see. Okay, Google, how long is Mike Evans' injury? He's expected to miss most of the remainder of the 2025 season with a potential return in 6 to 8 weeks. Earliest. Let's see. The injury will likely end Evans' tying streak. Oh yeah, that streak of 1,000 yards is over. Y'all can cancel that. But regardless of the fact, he is going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Half the season's over, right? 6 weeks. Guess what? The reason why they say 6 to 8, one of those is a bye week. So therefore, there's only 6 weeks, 6 games left in a sense for the Bills. 6 to 7 games left. So Mike Evans will miss the rest of the regular season. He will be back in the playoffs. If I am a Mike Evans owner in fantasy football, he is droppable. You have to drop him. Because pretty much when he comes back, fantasy football is over. Now we got to pivot and we got to go find something else out there. There should be something. Hopefully, he has a replacement to pick up, or you have a bench person, a stash that is basically going to move up into your starting lineup. So, but Mike Evans will be out for the remainder of the season. He'll be back for the playoffs. I do have the Bucks winning this game. Mika, and mind you, they're down, so Bucks might lose a couple games now. Hopefully, they don't lose this one. They might. Ooh, crap! Bucks might lose this one because they're down. Is Mika still out? That's what I need to go look for. Let me go see. Let's check. Jacoby Myers out this week. Chris Godwin is questionable. Let's see. Okay, so Mbika does not have a tag. He's going to get a heavy workload. He is going to get a heavy workload, absolutely. And we just gotta hope he don't get hurt again. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So yeah, we do gotta hope he does not get hurt again. But with Mike Evans out for the remainder of the season, Emeka is going to get a heavy workload. So I would look to see, hopefully, whoever is the Mike Evans owner. For those who have just joined in, if you're a Mike Evans owner, Mike Evans will be out for the remainder of the regular season. He will be back pretty much in the playoffs. So if he is droppable, and you will need to fish for another wide receiver if you do not have one already on your roster. All right, so moving on to our next game, we have Cowboys and the Broncos. Cowboys versus the Broncos. Broncos are at home. I think I'm gonna go with the Cowboys in this game right now. That Dak Prescott is playing MVP style football. I'm not taking that away. He's on a streak right now, so we're going to continue that streak with this win against the Broncos. Tennessee Titans against the Colts. We pretty much know the Colts are beating a lot of the Titans in this game. Titans have no chance. They just have no team. The ownership for me, it all starts with that type of leadership for Tennessee. I've been talking about it for a while, for 2 years now. Whatever the new ownership up there has been doing, it's been bad. And the team has not been able to reach its full potential due to it. Because again, they lost a really great coach because of it, who's now successful in another location, and this team looks really, really bad. And Colts, whose ownership is a little bit more structured, which I love, they're basically playing lights out football. So give me the Colts at home, against the Tennessee Titans. It'll probably be an embarrassing game too. Probably like 38-0. I think Tennessee won't put up a point. I'm sorry. For our Sunday night football game, whatever you do, don't fall on Aaron Rodgers, but give me the Packers defense worries me. It really worries me. And it's the fact that this is not a revenge. The Packers got to come to Aaron Rodgers. Packer, to me, Aaron Rodgers knows. When I tell you he knows defenses, he'll pick you apart if he knows you. He knows his defense. He played against them in practice. And I don't mean the personnel, I mean the style, i.e. Matt LaFleur. This is going to be a good game, but I give me the Steelers at home against the Packers. I don't think the Packers have played Aaron Rodgers since he's left, and this will be I think the first meeting. It's gonna be all over Sunday Night Football with sit down, none of that crap. But after that loss they took last week, I don't think they're gonna take another one, and I don't think it'll be against the Packers. So give me Steelers at home against the Packers. All right, Monday Night Football. Commanders are dealing with a lot of second year issues. So I think those are going to continue against the Chiefs going into this Monday Night Football game. Chiefs are at home on Monday Night Football, so give me the Chiefs for the win against the Commanders. All right. So let's move on over to some fantasy info. I'm going to look and see if I have any fantasy info to give you guys, any waiver wire pickups, any stashes. Let's go look and see. All right, here we do. Okay. Thanks to Fantasy Huddle, we have our Week 8 waiver wire targets. All right, so if we're looking for players to for Week 8, we are looking at Odonde Gadsden. He's a tight end for the Chargers. He's a longtime value. We got Kyle Monogamy, running back for the Chicago Bears. Josh Downs, wide receiver for the Colts. Jackson Dart, quarterback for the New York Giants. I don't know why I had a brain fart right there. Cade Otton, it's time. If you're looking for a tight end, if you're looking for a weapon, Mike Evans is out. Things has got to shift. What's his name? Chris Godwin. He's questionable. I got to go look to see if the injury is is valid. But Cade Otton right now is a high value target for the next few games. I definitely believe that. So if you are looking for a tight end, or if you have spot for a tight end, Cade Otton should not be in any waiver wire. He should be on your team. Cade Otton, everybody, from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tajay Spears, running back for the Tennessee Titans, is the stash. Malik Washington, running back, wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. I have a brain fart. Miami Dolphins is the stash. Tez Johnson is a pickup and a long-term player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he's the other receiver, basically. Again, everybody's basically going to shift, and targets are going to go to now Tez Johnson, Godwin if he's healthy, and Mika, of course, and of course Cade Otton. Cade Otton will be the last target, most likely second. He'll be like a third, maybe second, third. It depends on how the shift works, and where Baker needs to go to first and second. If Cade Otton might move up to a second target value with the way the new offense has to run without Mike Evans. So that's something we need to pay attention to. Joe Flacco. Yes, Joe Flacco is a stash, or he's a pickup. He had a great game. He's gonna throw 2 touchdowns in this game against who are they playing? I just had that. Let me see. Where you at? Bengals. Bengals are playing. He's gonna have 3 touchdowns. Yeah, he might have 3-4 touchdowns in that game. Bengals are gonna beat the hell out of the Jets. So definitely play Joe Flacco this weekend. Brashard Smith, running back for Kansas City. He's a stash. Obviously, they've got to funnel. They got to work out and see who they can play to get ready for the playoff push. So you're going to see some running backs. And if he pops off, obviously, if you have him on your team, now you have a running back. At this point, with the state of the running back in the NFL, if a running back's name pops up, you got to put him on your team, see what happens. You ain't got to play him, but if he's on your bench, you get to watch to see what happens. If nothing happens, it'd just be another throwaway if something else pops up. You know what I mean? But if you had him on your team and everything pops off right, oh, now you have another running back. It's just one of those things. Like at this point where we're down to backup running backs because all of our starters are hurt, we can't be picky, right? We gotta. If the guy had 7-8 targets, look to see who else was the next up. But if that's all the guys are getting in value, at least it's something if you need points, rather than skipping out because you don't think he's going to do anything. And then one day, at this point, if he's on somebody else's team and he does pop off, now you screwed. You know what I mean? We're late in the season. We got to take what we can get. You know what I mean? It's not the first 4 weeks anymore. We're in week 8. So right now we got to take what we can get. What we can only do is hope that the players that are being called up basically get active, get the ball, and do something for us in fantasy football. Again, it's all fantasy, so it's all hope and belief and pray. Keyshawn Boutte is a pickup for Patriots, and Tyler Algier is a stash. They use both running backs, so that's why he's a stash. All right, players to stream for week 8. Jackson Dart against Philadelphia. I don't think I am. I didn't. It was good at home. Now they're on the road, and I just don't like it. I'm not that. I actually hate that bait. That's a bait. I wouldn't play Jackson Dart. If you can go somewhere else, I would do it. I would definitely play Aaron Rodgers versus Green Bay this week. I would definitely play Joe Flacco versus the Jets. I'm definitely playing Michael Penix versus Miami. Miami has no defense. I'll play Water against Miami. They got a whole Dolphin, and I still win. Spencer Rattler against Tampa Bay. No, I'm not doing that. Tyrod Taylor versus Cincinnati. No. Ordonde Gatson against Minnesota. Minnesota has a good secondary. I'm not sure I would play a tight end against Minnesota secondary. Cade Otton versus New Orleans, yes, I would actually play K-Dot versus New Orleans. Juwan Johnson versus Tampa Bay. No, I hate Juwan Johnson. He's trash. Mason Taylor versus the Jets. Versus Cincinnati. No. Theo Johnson versus Philly. Yes. He might get a touchdown, but if he doesn't get a touchdown, he'll at least have, like, I think, 4 or 5 catches for about 50, 60 yards. So you could get 9 to 12 points out of Theo Johnson. He is a target for Jackson Dart. And let's see, Dalton Schultz versus San Francisco. No. Would not go there with that one. Let's see. Defenses and kickers to stream for this week. Atlanta's defense versus Miami. Yeah, I think even if they sit Tua, I don't care who they sit. Somebody back there throwing 2 picks. I'm taking those 2 picks. I'm definitely starting Atlanta against Miami. The Chargers versus Minnesota. No, I'm not starting the Chargers defense versus Minnesota. I'm not starting any defense versus Jets. Not doing that. San Francisco versus Houston. Yes, I'm definitely starting San Francisco. Again, Houston cannot move the ball, and San Francisco will turn the ball over. Jets defense is a joke. I can't believe that's even brought up. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus New Orleans. No, I wouldn't play Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay plays the Tampa 2 defense. They don't take the ball away much, so I would not play them. Buffalo Bills versus Carolina. I want to say yes. I just feel like that's a trap. I feel like Buffalo's going to give up. Again, like 20 points. And if they do, you're screwed having the Bills as your team, as your defense. San Francisco's kicker, Eddie Pinheiro versus Houston. Yeah, I can play Eddie. Ryan Fitzgerald versus Buffalo. No, I don't think so. No. Can he get 3 kicks? Yeah. What's that, Ryan Fitzgerald? I would. Evan McPherson versus the Jets. Yes, I can start Evan McPherson versus the Jets. Will Lutz versus Dallas. Yeah, if he is like nothing else out there, then yes, play Will Lutz. But if there are other options above him, take the other options above him. Nick Folk against Cincinnati. Same as Will Lutz. If you can find anything above Nick Folk, take the above. If not, then you got to play Nick Folk. Brandon McManus in Green Bay versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Same thing. If there's anything above Will Lutz, Nick Folk, and Brandon McManus, take them. If not, I would take over those 3. I would take Will Lutz. He has a better chance against Dallas' defense to have to get at least 2 or 3 field goals out of that game. I'm not sure. He maybe get one extra point, maybe 2 if they get 2 touchdowns, but I know he'll at least get 2 to 3 field goals out of it. All right. Let's move on to the favorite part of the show, our comment section, everybody. That's right. If you got any questions for Coach, I am here. Hit me up. I can answer your questions, and we will get you guys set up for week 8 for fantasy football. All right. Now, first up, we have 4KT Owen. How we doing, my boy? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hopefully you follow, and you subscribe. Flex, Pittman, or Chase Brown? Well, the question would be, what other wide receivers do you already have that are playing? And what other running backs do you have on your team? That way we can see which one will be the better flex option. But out of those 2, I would flex Pittman. Oh, hold on. Because see, the Jets are getting railroaded. So let me take a look at something real quick. Okay, so Chase Brown did have 108 yards. He had the biggest game of his career so far with 11 off of 11 carries, but he didn't score. That kind of sucks. So he got 12 points because of the 11 carries. Let's go look at my boy Pittman real quick. Pittman had 7 catches. Pittman's had a big year. He's only had 2 bad games. I'm going with Michael Pittman. Especially against Tennessee. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Michael Pittman in the flex. Absolutely. Over Chase Brown. Yeah, absolutely. Michael Pittman in the flex. Clifford Jones, thank you for tuning in. How are you? We got Zay Flowers or Roma Dunes for the rest of the season. It's Roma Dunes. Absolutely. Let me go see something. Excuse me. Okay, Google, where does Rome Adunes place against other wide receivers this year? Oh, of course you didn't. Let me ask my damn phone. Where does Rome Adunes place against other wide receivers? Top 10 NFL wide receivers. Because Jackson Smith should be number 1. Okay, good. He is number 1. Where is Rome Odunze? Really? Golly. Did they take a setback? Hold on. Let me go look at something real quick. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Didn't catch that. I didn't catch that. Okay, so Romadunza has only broken for 100 yards once all season. Bears are winning as a team, especially with the run game. So, wow, that's now I see why you asked that question. Okay, let's see. Zay Flowers. It doesn't get any better. His only issue, to be quite honest with you, is he hasn't gotten in the end zone. He has yards like 75, 143, 74, 72. He's only had 2 games that are bad, which is 13 yards and 46 yards, to be quite honest with you. He just hasn't gotten in the end zone. That's his only issue. Okay, let's check on Lamar. I think I'm actually going to go with Zay Flowers, to be quite honest. I think we're making the switch to Zay. So we don't know until the end of the week if Lamar is going to play this week. He's had a hamstring injury since week 4. He should be healed right now, but I don't know. We'll see. I want to go with that. Let's go with Zay Flowers for the remainder of the season. I do like that one a little better. It looks like Roma Dunes is actually taking a dip because, again, where he only has 100-yard game, he barely has any games over 40 yards. Like, it's only one. Everything else is 30 yards, 26 yards. So I would actually go with Zay Flowers. He's actually putting up more yards on the season. Thomas, what's good? What's good? Thank you for tuning in. What you got for me? Let's see. Good morning, my dude. I have Barkley was sent 2 offers. Barkley for John Vontae Williams from Dallas. My second offer is Barkley for Diggs. Barkley and Diggs for Sutton and Henry. Which one is better? Or should I just hold on to Barkley? No, you need to get rid of Barkley. So Barkley is it's the again. You can call it the Madden curse. I really think that's really what it is. I mean, because the Madden curse comes in one of many forms. You're either going to get hurt, or your season stats are just going to take a total dookie, which is pretty much where he's headed. They have a game against the Giants. I mean, he could have a good game against the Giants because he didn't have a good game against them on the road. So he could have one again. He could have one against them at home. And this could be the part of the season where the Philly just kind of like, all right, let's take, let's put our foot on the gas and actually take off. I would say he wants to get rid of Henry. We don't want Henry. That's what we don't want. We don't want Henry. I'd rather keep Barkley over Henry, to be quite honest with you. But I want Sutton. But you have Diggs. Let me go look at Diggs stats real quick. Let's see how Diggs is doing in New England. Uh-oh. I start getting cold. I start getting cold. Y'all know how I feel about Diggs in the cold. And he has not proven me wrong yet. And I even said it. They were just in Tennessee in week 7. But I said in New England, it get cold a little early. Normally the Stephon Diggs give you 100-yard games, through like 8-9 weeks. By week 10, when it start getting cold, his numbers drop. It's New England. It's Boston. It's a little colder early. So, we might need to get rid of Diggs. Do we want something, though? That's the question. We definitely want Cortland Sutton. Okay. So, okay. This is what we're going to do. What other running backs do you have? That's the question we need to know. What other running back? What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to see if we can keep Barkley, get rid of Diggs, and bring over Javonte Williams and Sutton. So we want Diggs in the trade to go away, but we don't want to trade Barkley. What else do you have that we can use as a bargaining tool? And could it be a 3 for 2? Do you have Diggs and 2 other players that you can bargain with to grab Javonte Williams and Sutton? Because that's what we want. We want both of those players, but we don't want to give up Barkley just yet if we don't have to. That's the big thing. Kevin, what's good? How we doing? Thank you for tuning in. Bucky, Taylor, Marvin, Rico, Forgetta, Nico, Hall, and Kittle. Hell no. Hell what? Hell no. You got Jonathan Taylor, the leading rusher. You got Bucky, who is not a leading rusher, but is a top scorer in the NFL. Okay, top runner in the NFL. The problem with taking all of them is Nico and Hall. That's the issue. You're giving up 2 great running backs, right? For one receiver, because Nico's by himself. There's nothing in Houston that's moving the ball. Hall is with where? Who's owing what? Yeah, okay. And Kittle, no. The tight end is not enough for this deal for me to give away Bucky and Taylor. Okay? Just for Jetta. Like, that's really what it's for. You're giving away 4 people for Jettis because Nico Hall and Kittle ain't gonna be much for you. So no. I'm keeping my running backs that are, I don't know, as rare as a Ruby. I'm gonna put them up there in that kind of caliber. Okay, it's about as rare as a Ruby. I don't know how rare Ruby are. But they're rare, okay? Running backs are rare, and you're about to give away 2 of them just for Jettis. Can't do that. I personally wouldn't agree for that. Niori, what's good, boy? How we doing? How's your day going? Let's see. Was able to pick up Devin Neal and Travis Hunter off waivers. I mean, not sure what Travis Hunter gonna do. I need to. Okay. Did he have a 100-yard game this week? Yeah, he did. Okay. I mean, he's got a game. Let me. Okay, let me read off some signs of why this ain't gonna work. Okay. Let's start off from the points. From week 1 all the way down to 7, right? 9.3, 5.2, 3.1, 7.2, 9.4, 5.5, 24.1. Okay, great. Let's move over to the touchdown. From week 1 to week 7. 1 in week 7. Okay, now let's move over to the most important section. Okay? It's not even yards right now. So yards are a joke. We're going to go from week 1 to week 7. 8 targets for 6 receptions. Now that's good. For 33 yards. That's horrible. All right. But week 1, rookie. Let's give him some grace. Week 2, 6 targets for 3 catches for 22 yards against a Cincinnati defense that's about as bad as the Miami Dolphins. Okay. That's horrible. All right. Second week in the NFL. Let's give grace. All right. Against Houston. Okay. They have a good defense. 2 targets, 1 reception for 21 yards. Rookie. All right. San Francisco. 5 targets, 3 receptions for 42 yards. Yeah. He did more with the yards with less targets. That's good. Against Kansas City. Perfect game. 3 for 3 for 64 yards. Can't get any better than that, right? All right, good. Then we go to week 6 against Seattle. 7 targets, 4 catches. Getting the ball, but where are your hands? 15 yards? 15 yards? And then here's the part that bothers me, because now we're freaking force feeding. You got a great wide receiver over there in Brian Thomas. This is not your number 1 receiver. He is. And the offense somehow is not built for him. Interesting. Yet, you're force feeding your number 1 pick. Got it. 14 targets for 8 catches. That's ridiculous. Are you like, of course you're going to have 100 yards? I've never seen a force feed as bad as this. And here's what I'm going to say to that. It will not replicate. It cannot replicate. What will replicate is what he's been doing. Unless they're literally going to force feed this kid for the next 8 games, I don't think so. I don't think Travis Hunter was a good pickup because outside of his 24 points, again, 9, 5, 3, 7, 9, 5. They've been getting you nowhere but into the constellation game. Now, Devin Neal. Take a look. Okay, so he's positioned himself as the Saints' number 2 running back. Mm-hmm. He's still playing behind Alvin Kamara. There's not much points you get out of him. He's still playing behind a healthy, active, strong Alvin Kamara. We've got to find other players for you, New York. It's only up from here. You ain't lying. Hey, what we can't hope for is maybe the other team just doesn't outscore us. That's one thing we can pray for. Broly, how we doing today? Thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Trade Jamar Chase and Javonte Williams, get Bijan Robinson and Puka Nacua. To be quite honest with you, no, that's not even true. Yeah, I would definitely do it. I would definitely do that trade. If the purpose is for Bijan, then yes, absolutely. He is playing lights out football and is only going to continue from here. The same will continue for all the rest of them, but I like the Bijan Robinson and Puka Nacua combo. Let's see. Would you trade Ramondre for Tony Pollard? Let's see. He's a Tennessee running back. Woo! No. Just because of the state of Tennessee, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't risk it. You're better off with Ramondre than Tony Pollard. You'd cry for that trade. You that trade would make it'd be funny. You trade Ramondre in that same game, he goes off for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Tony Pollard gets hurt. Nah, I can't do that one. Nah, you're good. KJ, how we doing? Let's see. Would you drop Jawan Jennings for Tez? Yeah. Josh Downs or Alec Pierce? Let's check out Alec real quick. Who is getting more targets? You got 10 targets and only caught 5? That's ridiculous. 2, 5, 4. Okay, let's check out Josh. Josh's boy is questionable. Yeah, concussion. Okay. Ooh. Man, that's a tough one. They're pretty much getting the same workload. Who has more yards with their workload? Dang. That is a tough question. Alec Pierce has no touchdowns. Downs has 1, which was in the last game. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm gonna have to go with Yeah, season high of 5 catches. That's crazy. We're gonna go with Josh Downs. We're gonna go with Josh Downs in that one. That's a tough one, but we're gonna go with Josh Downs. And yes, I would drop Juwan Jennings for Tez. Travis Hunter's offensive snaps week 1. And he's the number 2 receiver, of course, bro. Like they don't have who else is getting the ball? It should be Brian. It should be Brian Thomas getting most of it, but they're force feeding Hunter, and he's not even doing nothing with the ball, bro. He had 1 game over 100 yards, and it was about eight more. Like no, I'm okay. I'm okay. Ain't happening. Ramondre against the Browns this week. I like them. I like Ramondre against. I don't know. That Browns defense is pretty tough. He might. I don't know. That one's a bit tough. That one's a bit tough. Should I keep Booty for Alec Pierce? It's getting cold. Kayjon Booty is he still a top target for Drake May? Let me go look. No, 2 games, bro. He only had 2 targets. He got lucky with a touchdown against Tennessee. Ooh-wee. No, I would actually go with I would go with Alec Pierce over Booty in this week. June, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. I was offered Collins for Judikins. Am I missing something, or is this an auto accept? They offer you Nico Collins for Judikins? Is that what you're saying? If that's the case, I would say no. I would auto decline. No, you keep your running back. No. We don't trade running backs for wide receivers around here. I don't think so. No. So yeah, keep Judikins, decline that trade. I'm not sure what that was, but yeah, I wouldn't do that. Let's see, KJ. I can also drop Hendo for a wide receiver, but scared to drop him. And then later in the season, he finally breaks out. But see, that's something we cannot be afraid of. The thing is, here's the thing. Here's the thing about fantasy football, right? If he ain't doing it for you, and you keep him on your roster, you're hurting yourself. Okay, you're hurting yourself. If you found something that scored, for instance, right? You are, let's say you're 4-3, and your issue is you can't get over the hump because this one guy can't score. And you found something on the waiver wire that's giving you a consistent 60 point. Why do you care what he does for another team if you're going into the playoffs with the new guy? If he's now winning you all these games because he's consistently getting you 16 to 20 points a game, something the other player was not getting you. He was getting you 7 to 8, maybe some zeros. So we cannot be worried about dropping a player and him going off on another team, especially, right? If you already played that team, what does it matter? The only time you're going to see that person again is in the playoffs. Who's to say that person's going to even do anything for you in the playoffs? Who's to say just because you dropped him, now all of a sudden this person will go off for 9 straight weeks? I don't think so. If he hasn't been consistent now, he's probably gonna get that person maybe 1 or 2 games. One of them games he probably will have him on the bench, so he probably ain't going to see those points. So no, you can't worry about dropping somebody and them ending up on another person's team and be feared. Oh my God, I'm going to play him. Hey, look, it just was meant to be to lose to you. If you ended up with him and then I lost to that player because he didn't do nothing for me, I've had that plenty of times. Have I had it backfire on me? Nah, not at all. Not at all. Some people have them, play them. Again, I play against him, and he might have gotten 16, right? But my player got 24. See? So, yeah, did he do good for that guy? He sure did. And that guy still lost to me because my players, remember, this is a team we're building. We ain't worried about one guy. One guy is hurting us. Bye. Look, for me, you got 4 weeks to do something. And that means you got 1 week to mess up on my starting lineup. You got another 3 weeks to give me crap on my bench. Then you're gone. I'm going to let somebody else deal with you. I hope I drop you and they let something else go that I know I'm going to snag. Oh, yeah, you dumb. You can have him. If he works out for you, he work out for you. But that guy that you just dropped, I know for sure he's going to work out for me. So thank you. See, I wouldn't worry about that. Never worry about somebody as if you dropped them for a reason, right? You dropped them. We can't hoard players because we don't want somebody else to get them. That's how dummies end up with 3 defenses on their team because they don't want to let one go. Like, what? Are you serious? That's why you're going to lose. Don't worry about that. I'm just worried about Josh Downs coming back. I mean, they said he's supposed to play. We won't know anything until practice, obviously, on Friday. And our practice this week and the injury report comes out. They do play against Tennessee. I honestly feel like I wouldn't worry about Josh Downs due to the fact it's going to be a Jonathan Taylor type of game. I think they're going to heavily run the ball in that game. They're going to control clock. They're going to even try some different things just to move progressively through the season. And they're going to take a lot of weight off of Daniel Jones's arm right now. He's been on fire. They're going to play a different style of football going against because the Tennessee Titans they're nothing. They're nothing. They're nothing. Josh Downs might get 3-4 catches, same as Alec Pierce. Like they're not going to go off in any of these in the next game. So that's nothing I'd be worried about. Just hold on to Judikins. I have Bucky and Jonathan Taylor and Rico Dow. Only got Rasheed and QJ at wide receiver. But not for Nico. Not for Nico. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying don't trade Judikins for Nico. Okay. And I just said don't trade for wide receiver, but now I see you actually need a wide receiver, but not for Nico Collins. No. To be quite honest with you, let me see something. Judikins has been playing some good ball. Some really, really, really good ball. So I would actually keep him, right? Oh, okay, let's see. All right, so look, if you need a wide receiver that bad, right? You got to play your cards right. Meaning you can't take no Nico Collins. You got to go after somebody. You feel me? Like, I don't know, a CeeDee Lamb, a DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith and Nigga. Okay, you got to go after somebody, right? You are going to have to see if you can use Bucky Irving as a trade piece. However, throw in I don't know if a 1-for-1 is going to get you a good receiver. I think of Bucky Irving and a receiver. Like if you have a low-end receiver that's gotten like 10, 12 points, you know what I mean, that you don't really use. If you can get rid of that with Bucky Irvin and get you a number one, get you another receiver, that'd be the way to go. That way you can keep Judikins, who's actually playing good ball. You still got Jonathan Taylor. So I would try to get rid of Bucky Irvin if you can, but you're gonna have to probably add a piece to do that. That's the thing. You're gonna probably have to add somebody. I'm worried about Booty doing anything against the Browns this week. That's what I'm more worried about. Because he doesn't get many targets. That's the issue. Let's see. Hey, George, how we doing? Gatson and Fannin this week at tight end. Gatson coming off a monster game, but Fannin is the top target against a New England defense that's worst against the tight end. And I love numbers like that. So that means Fannin is he's gonna get some targets. Let me go look at what he's done with, and I've actually talked about how good Fannin is with Dylan Gabriel. It's his security blanket, and he has not disappointed. He had a low game against Miami, but he's a young tight end as well. Again, playing against tight end, he's playing against New England. That is soft against tight ends is very true. Let's look at Gatson real quick. That's what I'm worried about is Minnesota secondary. Let me see. All right, so Titans ranked 12th in fantasy points per game allowed to tight ends. They got Fannin as a low-end start in deeper leagues. I would go with Gatson this week. I think you're going to see Justin Herbert lean on him a bit more. So I will go. I probably won't have the 164 yards, but maybe 80, maybe 75. Or not 75, maybe 72, maybe 63. But he'll have 4 or 5 catches, and he may have a touchdown. So I would go with I would definitely go with Gatson over Fannin this week. No problem at all. Absolutely. Absolutely. June, let's see what you got. I also got offered Rome for Judikins. What do you think with that one? And thank you for your advice, by the way. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. That's what the show is for. I was so big on Roma Doomsday, and then like the last 2 games, he's pretty much like his fantasy numbers dropped, right? But then I had to take a deeper look. Dude barely catches over 30 yards a game. Like, it's weird. He had decent numbers in the beginning of the season, and then his numbers kind of dropped. But if you go look at his actual stat lines, they're bad. They're actually horrible. So I would not do Rome for Judikins at all. No. I need somebody else like I said, I need a Puka. I need a Jackson Smith, CeeDee Lamb. Who else can we get? Devontae Adams. Excuse me. You might be able to get a Devontae Adams straight up for a bucket. To be quite honest, you might be able to do something like that. That would be great. But those are the type of receivers you're going to be looking for. Who else? I know I have somebody at the tip of my tongue. Michael Pittman. Might be able to get Michael Pittman for Bucky Irving. But Judikins has to stay. The only reason why I say Judikins has to stay, he's the only one he's your running back that with Jonathan Taylor that has not been injured, that has been consistent, that has been playing good football. You got to wait for Bucky Irving to come back. And if you trade Judikins and you're stuck with Bucky Irving, and let's say he plays, but Bucks haven't played with him in I don't know how long, so they might stay in a passing form for like 2-3 weeks. And now you got Bucky on your team who's not even getting the ball. So I would rather stay with the hot hand Judikins than the Bucky Irving coming off injury. But I would trade Bucky if I can for another wide receiver. Let's see. Hopefully Ravens turn things around. Yeah, as soon as their quarterback get back, that's what they're missing. They're missing their quarterback. So until he decides to play football again, there's not much the Ravens are going to be able to do football wise. Let's see. I got Derrick Henry with a pretty easy schedule. Yeah, but the problem is they're missing a main piece to that schedule. I had him with 12 games this year. That's how easy their schedule was. And look at them now. What's their record? Okay, Google, what's the Baltimore Ravens record? They're fourth in the AFC North at 1-5. Buddy, they're not winning. Hey, they're not going 12-5. I can tell you that. You understand that Cincinnati is at number 2 with 3-4. Guess who season is going to end up getting saved? And guess who's going to show right up for the playoff? Hey, Josh Allen, get it together, okay? You let this fool get healthy, and you let these doggone Bengals get to the playoffs because of old man Flacco. You understand what I'm telling you? Like, when they win this week, because the Cincinnati Bengals will beat the Jets. I mean, 4-4. Oh, wait. Because, see, the Steelers can't lose, right? Because what is happening? Right? So it'd be funny. They would have a game over the Steelers, even though they'd be in second place. This is a very dangerous division right now because it's going in a way I think it's going. And I'm telling you, Joshy, see, the NFC, that's Rams versus Bucks. Okay? Maybe even the Cowboys. Sneak into the playoff. Okay? If they do, only reason I'm not going to like it is because their defense reminds me of when Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and the Patriots both had like the 32nd and the 31st worst defenses in the league. They were both in the playoffs. They both made it to the playoffs, and they both got knocked out the playoffs. So I'm wondering if that could happen to the Cowboys. Their defense is ass. It really is. I pay the fine. But their offense could potentially get them into the NFC Championship game against either the Rams or the Bucks. But those are my 3 teams. I mean, one of those 3 teams will be in the Super Bowl. I only got the Bills for the AFC. I don't have nobody else. But gosh darn it, if these 3 or 4 Bengals, right, somehow get this season saved, Bengals, I had the Bengals going 13-4. Not going to happen, right? But if they somehow get to the playoffs and Joe Burrow come back, yeah, I got the Bengals in the playoffs. I got the Bengals in the AFC Championship against the Bills. And boy, oh boy, it would be a story to tell if Joe Burrow just comes out of just a weird injury like missed almost the season, wins the Super Bowl. That would be a story for a lifetime. And here you are again, Josh Allen, sitting on the sideline again. Okay, again, not in the Super Bowl. Just saying. Don't let Joe Burrow get sneaky. I'm just saying. He's just healing, right? The Bengals could still lose a bunch of football games, and this would just be me running my mouth, not knowing nothing I'm talking about. But all I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying, they already got a division win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are number 1 right now. And I believe they beat the Bengals or the Browns already, right? I believe they beat the Browns. I'm not sure about the Ravens yet. Got to check. But I'm just saying, one, all you got to do is win your division and you in anyway. You can have a bad record and win your division and you in. So we'll see. We'll pay close attention to the AFC, see how that plays out. I like my Seahawks in the NFC. I like the Seahawks too, but I like the Seahawks to lose to Dallas or the Rams in the playoffs. They're going to be in the playoffs, absolutely. But I do have them losing in the playoffs. They'll probably make it past the wild card division. Like they'll play in the wild card. They'll win the wild card game because they have a home game in the wild card, and then I think they'll be on the road that next round, and that's what I think the Seahawks will do. Unfortunately, but I still look. They look strong. They look good. But I have the Rams being so much better. Devontae Adams was such an amazing piece that they added to their roster, like hands down. And I talked about that at the beginning of the season, before the season started, before he even went there, when he was with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. I came on here and did an episode, and I pleaded. I said, look, I don't care what happens with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, but I said, Devontae, do not go follow Aaron Rodgers. Please find you somewhere else to go play and be a winning wide receiver. Finish your career right. And then I got the news that he signed with the Rams, and I said it then. I said, oh, Rams go to the playoff. Why? Because they added Devontae. The defense is fine. Did they replace Aaron Donald? You can never replace Aaron Donald. Are you crazy? Are you sick in the head? But they so did get one of the best, our new image of a defensive line. Like that dude play, that he's amazing. I love him. So their defense is fine. Sean McVay, he is one of the coaches. Again, I don't think he's a player's coach, but he knows how to run an offense and he knows how to run a defense. And unfortunately, sometimes that doesn't make you a player's coach. That makes you a head coach. And not all head coaches have to be player coaches. Some head coaches are just, I don't want to use the word unbiased. Like, it's weird to use that as like they make all the decisions. It's just their decision-making skills are different as it pertains to personnel. That's the way I should look for, okay? You are a player, but to these types of coaches, you are a personnel, meaning a personnel can be replaced. We will not stick with you if this is not working type of thing. You know what I mean? We don't have the resources to get somebody back there to work with you, and it's just one of those things. We need players that are ready. We need players that know how to execute now, so we can go out here and win now. That's just the type of coach he is. Okay, and look at his team. Look at what he has. Players that literally do that exact thing. Okay, so Sean McVay is going to be fine with these Rams. And again, I have them all the way. Where I had the Packers in the Super Bowl, and I put the Rams in there. The Packers defense is nowhere near ready. Nowhere near ready. I think this is where, after this season, Matt LaFleur is going to have to put more trust in his offensive coordinator to run the offense with his quarterback. And he needs to put more focus on revamping this defense. Like, completely doing a, restructure. And something that won't take away from what they're doing, almost like, what pieces can he add? Who can he pay? There's things he's going to have to do to get this defense back right. They're missing pieces badly. And he's going to have to do a hell of a lot in the draft, meaning the Packers offense may miss out on some draft pieces. They're going to have to be okay with that, and they got to roll what they got. They went and got Matthew Golden. They still got Jonathan. They still got Josh Jacobs. What I would do is get another running back in the 4th round, obviously, because Josh Jacobs ain't going to last forever. So that way you can at least get some fresh legs behind him to keep him as long as you can. But if you make him and keep him this long doing this, you're going to lose him really quick, just because running backs, only have but so many miles in their legs, guys. We all know this. Our D line is no joke, and our secondary is coming back from injury. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Seahawks. I'm not saying they look like the 12th man. Okay, I'm not saying they look like the 12th man, but they look like they are probably a top 10 defense in the NFL right now. I would give them top 10 recognition because yes, you are absolutely right. It is not easy to run the ball on that D line, and they come hunting for quarterbacks on that D line. So it is that front four is nice. I hate our division. It's so tough. Yours and the AFC North. Those are right now for me, just because they play each other the toughest. And no, like you either are splitting or if you're just too bad, you're going to lose both. Like that's how tough both of those divisions are. The Hound House. How are we doing today? Thank you for tuning in. Should I trade Jackson Dart and JCM for Genty and CJ Stroud? Give me a second. Let me look. Let me go find. Let me look at JCM stuff real quick. Oh, man. Yeah, he's taking a decline right now, and if your fantasy team, like if your current record can't sustain any more games like this, I understand the trade. Jackson Dart might be a good bargaining piece for it. So yes, I would say yes. Mostly for Genty, not for CJ Stroud, but obviously I would actually take CJ Stroud over Jackson Dart right now. Jackson Dart's about to hit a roadblock of games because he's a rookie who kind of had a nice little flash, but I mean, has anybody actually watched him throw football? It's kind of nice. But yeah, I would definitely trade Jackson Dart and JCM for Genty and CJ Stroud. See, probably NFC North as well. No, NFC North ain't that bad. It used to be, but it ain't that bad. Packers got a weak defense. Bears are still trying to figure their team out. Vikings are playing great with a backup quarterback and a good defense. And the Detroit Lions are lying to everybody. And I'm telling you, you're going to see the lies surface very, very soon. I know they winning. I know what it looks like. I'm telling you guys. The Lions, they are a lie. The lie will be exposed. And it might not get exposed to the playoffs, meaning here goes another first round exit. I don't know. They're fluke. I don't know how else to explain it. For fantasy purposes, it's fine. I'm just saying for like the Lions like doing anything and threatening anything in the playoffs. That's what I'm talking about. For fantasy purposes, yeah, Gibbs is going off. Amare is going off. You getting that purpose, and even the defense is doing something. So that's fine. But for NFL purposes, this is a lie. The Lions are a lie. Okay, don't listen. Don't believe the hype. Please don't fall into the trap. All right, Coach. I had to pick up. What's up, Cardo? I had to pick up Johnny Smith and Juwan Jennings, my tight end and wide receiver on a bye. Yeah, you suck. Yeah, you gotta pick them up, rock with the loss. We're gonna be 6-2, and we're gonna move on to the next week. Again, we are about to run into bye week fiasco. Good luck. Everybody's gonna be on bye between now and week 13 is gonna be nasty. Some players, hey, look, some of y'all got 5 people on the same bye week. I know you do. I know you do. You know why? Because you never watched Coach prior to the show. I know. It's unfortunate. But some of y'all are going empty in one of your weeks. You might have 1 player or 2 players to play. I don't know. It's gonna be ugly for some of y'all because I don't know why, but some people get player happy and forget to look and see. I'm telling me when I draft, I'm look. Oh, I want and I look. Crap. You got the same bye week as my quarterback. Hell no. Gotta go find somebody else. Sorry. That's how I might end up with 3 running backs because the value purposes, I wouldn't jump up to take a wide receiver too early over a bye week, but I will take a 3rd running back because all these bye weeks will be one out, and an hour play you with him and you play you with him, and bam, now my running back is set. So now I just got to figure out my wide receiver issue, which shouldn't be a bye week issue now because I skipped over the bye week's issues. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot when you draft, guys. Okay, you can't just go in here and be happy about the players. You have to be strategic. Bye weeks play a part. Longevity plays a part. Injury-prone issues play a part. Weather plays a part. Player themselves play a part. There's a lot that goes into basically making that one pick. Okay, defense plays a part. Kicker plays a part. There's a lot that goes into this to make yourself build a roster that you think can get you over so many different points. There's a lot you got to do. And using somebody's name, using their status, like the front line of y'all go out and draft a number 1 wide receiver with your first pick. And half of y'all forget one thing. That fool's going to be double covered for most of the season. So good luck to you. You will never see me with a number 1 wide receiver. You'll never see it. Because I'm not drafting no receiver to the 3rd round. Therefore, every receiver I'm drafting from the 3rd round out is what? Not a number 1. And if they aren't a number 1, that means they're a number 2 or 3. And if they're number 2 or 3, you know what they're not? They're not double covered. So my only issue is I need to make sure those guys are on my team are targeted, valued players, meaning they get 5 targets, 7 targets. So they're going to catch 4 to 6 catches, 30, 40 yards. I'm looking for 12 to 10 points or 10 to 12 points unless they get a touchdown and give me 16. My running backs are taking care of the rest. I got a quarterback that's going to give me 25 to 30. Okay. Now my kicker, my flex, and my defense got to fill in the rest. It's not hard, guys. It's not hard. It's a pretty easy thing to draft if you work with me. That's right, everybody. You heard Cardo. Like and subscribe. Please, please. I'm only here for you. If you subscribe, you got your notification set up, you're going to get Coach's Mouth every time I go live, every single time. And that's every Tuesday, every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. I'm here for you guys. Carter, what we got? Let's see. I picked up Tez Johnson. Okay, perfect. Oh, perfect. That's good. Now, be careful with Tez. Don't get too trigger happy with him. Here's why. We got to remember one thing. Cade Otton is still over there with Tampa Bay, and we know he is a target for Baker when the offense has to get revamped because remember, and Godwin is still questionable. So if he plays, he could be a main target. He could not be, but that means Cade Otton could step into a targeted role, which could limit Tez Johnson just a little bit. So meaning he can get targeted 5 times but only catch 3 catches. He's just a receiver where those 3 catches could range from anywhere from 52 yards to 110 yards. You see what I'm saying? That is meaning he can catch a bomb. He can catch 3 catches, and one of them could be for 68 yards. One of them could be for 35 yards. You see where I'm going with that? So that is what you have to – that's where your mind has to be acceptable with when you have Tez Johnson on your roster, when Godwin is still available, when Cade Otton is still playing, when Emeka is basically your main target, and you still got Bucky and Rashad White. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of targets over there in Buffalo. I mean, in Tampa Bay. So just be careful with Tez Johnson. But between Jennings and Johnson, I will put Johnson in the flex. Absolutely. Let's see. Also, I was so high on JMO this season because he was paid, but he's just an expensive geek. Keep telling it. Well, you weren't here. This is paychecks are coaches' deviation. Sorry, New York, you weren't here last year, and you weren't here the year before that, and you weren't here when it was just me and Artuel with no channels, and we were just an analytic show, and coach was always spewing this like, no, anybody that gets paid, you don't touch. If a running back gets paid, you don't touch him. If a receiver gets paid, you don't touch him. If a quarterback gets paid, you better not even worry nowhere near about him, but laugh at everybody else that wanted him. Don't do it, because paycheck seasons are the most stressful season for a player. They have to replicate what they did the year prior that got them paid. It ain't gonna happen. The year after that, they will. You always skip that quarterback in the payment year. You can have a quarterback any other year. You skip the payment year. They're never going to play that well. I don't know why. Again, well, obviously for me personally, I think it's the stress of the payment. You wanted the paycheck. You got it. Now it's like, oh, God, yeah, bro, there's a lot that comes with this heavy check. Guaranteed, right? Okay, you guaranteed to go ahead and do your job, which a lot of them, like, I don't know, Tua, can't go out here and do $53 million for nothing. Ain't that cool? Oh, my God, that's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, he's a decoy. Offering H13, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Let's see here. Offering Debo plus Ramondre Stevenson for Odunze. No. Your running backs are Jacobs, Henry, Kamara, Aaron Jones. Jesus Christ, you got Aaron Jones on your team too. Rasheed White and Mondre. Wide receivers are Rasheed, Brian Thomas Jr. Dang, and I wish he was doing so much better for you. And Mitch J and Debo. I don't think Odunze is going to do anything for you, to be quite honest with you. What's your record? Oh, you're 8-6. Okay. You can't be 8-6 already. How many games have been played yet? That's usually at the end of the season. But let's see. I wouldn't do it. Well, here's a question. Let me look at something. You might have to, because if the issue is Debo's numbers aren't, and that's basically who you're trying to get rid of, because they're not what you expected them to be for Washington, and you would rather live with Odunze's gameplay. I don't know, bro. No, I wouldn't. Odunze's numbers are nowhere even near Debo's. Your issue is Debo's not going to have a good game the next two games via Dallas and Kansas City, or maybe Seattle. That's your issue. The schedule is tough. It's crazy. I can say no to Odunze for one person, but because this situation is different, I could quite possibly say Rome Odunze. Yes, but why are you offering Ramondre? Do you just want him off the team? Because let me see something. Let me see what I can work out. No. Yeah, that's why you throw him in there. You can't. I was gonna say use Aaron Jones as trade bait. Still might. I still might. I would actually probably remove Ramondre and add. I would use Debo and Aaron Jones for. Yeah, I would use Debo and Aaron Jones instead. Keep Ramondre. I like him over Aaron Jones. He's not better, but because they're not really running the ball as much as either. But because of his vulturing and goal line touchdown potential, I like him over Aaron Jones. Another thing with, let me see. Should I trade Jackson Dart and JCM for Genty and CJ Stroud? Only other running back I have this week is Henderson, but I have Bucky if he's going to be back. Damn it. So, yeah. Man, I told you it was okay. That way, at least you're getting Genty. Okay, that's the biggest thing that you're getting Genty. And again, right now, I like CJ Stroud over Jackson Dart because Jackson Dart's schedule, I think, is going to get harder over CJ Stroud, who's a better quarterback just dealing with nothing, right? Like, and it's not his fault. It's not his fault. And I'm not even saying it's the coach's fault in Houston. This team just wasn't ready for this coach yet. Like, there was nothing there outside of CJ Stroud. They tried something with a couple receivers and it didn't work out, but the defense got built, but offensively they can't go anywhere with the ball. And I just think it won't be like that for another year or two. Like, they're going to fall this year. They're not going to make the playoffs, but I think this is going to be like, it's going to continue down this way. You know what I mean? Because if they pay CJ Stroud, they ain't got no money. So they can't pay anybody else. They can't pay a defense. So you're going to see the decline. And they're going to put it all on his shoulders. We don't want to get too far like that in the future, but right now, I would pick CJ Stroud over Jackson Dart just because I think Jackson Dart's season is going to get harder than CJ Stroud's. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. That was a great show. We were here for an hour and 30 minutes. Not too bad. I love long shows. I love sitting here and giving you guys all the advice that you need for football. So again, the show here is getting ready to end. But again, if you guys need to speak with Coach outside of the show and you need advice, you just want to, keep picking my brain about for any fantasy question. Ask Niori. He came and watched me when I was playing Fortnite yesterday when I went live, and we basically continue talking football over there. Okay, so I am here available all the time for you guys. If you need football, Instagram, my handle is Fantasy Football with Coach. If you want to DM me there, ask me any questions you can. TikTok, Coach Coombs _5, same thing. If you prefer TikTok over Instagram, you can hit me blah blah blah. You can hit me up over there as well. On Twitter, if you prefer Twitter over all of those, I prefer Twitter. I don't call it X, obviously. You can hit me up at FFC Coach Coombs. And when I'm live for gaming, which I won't be, where am I going to be today? Oh, I'm tired. I had to take my wife to the airport this morning. I've been up since like 3:30. I'm wondering if I want to game or not. No, I'm just be honest. I might just lay down, take a nap. I do have to work today. So personally, I might just nap it out. I'm not quite sure yet. I won't know until I get off this stream and get me something to drink and get something to eat and everything, and we'll see. But if I don't stream today, football will not be on tomorrow. I won't be live for tomorrow for football, but I will be live in the morning for streaming on Theme Park Gamers on Twitch. Again, when I do live stream on Twitch, if you follow me there and you get the notifications, you'll be able to you'll be able to come on there and chat with me about football while I'm gaming. But again, I'm here for you guys up until Sunday, and then we start it all over again Tuesday, where I come live and we recap every week that finishes off. Okay, so Tuesday we'll be back for our week 8 recap and see how we did. Oh, we got one more question. Let's see, got a call. Oh, got you. But I'd be trading Mondre or Rashad White because I want to clear a roster spot for Jones. It's a tight end premium league, so I also have Kelsey, Andrews, and Otton. I'm glad you got Kate Otton. So then I get it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I would do. You want to keep a spot for Jones, so yeah, then I would trade Ramondre. I would definitely trade Ramondre. Yeah, I would keep Rashad White over Ramondre Stevenson. So, yeah, I like that. I like that pick. Or I like that trade. I'm not big on Aaron Jones, but if this is what you're doing with your roster and you're keeping yourself in an open spot for this football player, then that's the route I would go with trade Ramondre to keep that open spot for Aaron Jones. Trying to send a 2-for-1 trade that can improve my wide. Yeah, exactly. Every week they add a match versus the league median score. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. That's different. That makes sense though. Come like eggs, man. That's usually how the league ends. That's how you can get into the playoffs. But no. Okay, so your league is a little different, and okay, that makes sense. I haven't ever played it like that before. That sounds pretty interesting. Pretty cool. But that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, 2-for-1 would definitely improve your wide receivers. Absolutely. Your tight ends, I think, are good. You got 3 of the best in the league. I know people don't look at Cade Otton as one of the best because his numbers aren't up there, but if Cade Otton was a number 1 target on any team, he would actually be up there with them all. He's just, again, he is literally fighting with some amazing other targets down there in Tampa, up there in Tampa Bay. So, all right, guys. So again, here's my handles if you want to reach me when the show ends. I'm available for you guys from now until Sunday. And then again, we'll be back again Tuesday live, and we'll be going over week 8. So please like, share, subscribe, follow, do it all. All right. And see you guys next week. Coach is out. I love you all.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.